First off, we have Kyle McCord and Dylan Raiola. They are projected to go to Nebraska right now. This is some big news for Nebraska. I would say they probably had the worst quarterback room, if not one of the worst quarterback rooms in the Big Ten last season. We could be talking about a former five-star and a current five-star number one QB in the class going to the Nebraska Cornhuskers. On top of that, there's also been some rumors of Trevor Etienne going over there as well. So it's an interesting situation. Matt Rhule is kind of cooking right now. I'm interested to get you guys' thoughts on it. If Matt Rhule pulls this off, what does this mean for the future of the Cornhuskers program? Brant, what do you think?
Yeah, it's really interesting, all the rumors that are floating around there right now with those two guys. If you would have mentioned those two names to me 2 years ago, I would have thought you were talking about Ohio State's quarterback room, because obviously McCord was our guy the last year. Then Raiola was committed to Ohio State at one point. I mean, a little bit of hard feelings for the kid. He's been at four different high schools throughout his high school career, and he's been committed to three different college programs. So I don't know if I can even buy into the fact that he's going to Nebraska. He might commit, but that doesn't even mean anything until, I mean, he'll probably find a way to get out of once he actually signs, he'll probably find a way to still flip. But if that ends up being their quarterback room, that's really interesting. It's a massive upgrade over really anything we've seen there in the past few years. At least since they've had Adrian Martinez, but these guys are probably even more gifted than he once was. So yeah, I'm interested to see how this plays out. And if those two guys both go there, it's going to be a really interesting quarterback battle this offseason.
Yeah, it's almost like you'd wish Kyle McCord was the younger guy and Dylan Raiola was the older guy, right? With Dylan Raiola switching around so many times. And I know there's the stuff about he would have had to miss games out in Arizona because of some transfer high school reasons. So that's why I went to Georgia. I don't know. I didn't hear about that when he went to Georgia the first time. So I don't know how much there validity there is to that. But you almost wish Kyle McCord was the young guy coming in and Dylan Raiola was the older guy because, then you're like, oh, well, he only has 1 year here. But it's definitely an interesting situation. Dylan Raiola could do a lot of different things. He's kind of unpredictable at this point. Connor, what are your thoughts on Matt Rhule bringing those guys in and the future of the Cornhuskers program?
Yeah, so I mean, as far as this transfer portal goes, it doesn't seem like you can really trust anything until it's officially done. So, as of right now, it's all kind of just rumors. But I mean, I don't know, man. You look at it, it would be the most gifted room we've ever seen Nebraska have, at least in my lifetime. So it is really dangerous as far as looking forward as another Big Ten team fan. I think that they could just take this and run away with it. It's kind of a domino effect. If they do get, McCord, then do see guys like Fleming, you do see guys like ETN kind of follow in his footsteps. So yeah, I'm a little bit nervous, but nothing's done until it's done. So we'll have to wait and see.
And I'm glad you brought up Fleming there because he's one that really makes me skeptical about this whole thing because he didn't exactly have a great year with Kyle McCord throwing the ball to him. In fact, he had a better year the year before, 0 touchdowns this year. I'm not trying to say they have a bad relationship or anything like that. I have no idea, but it would seem to me that, he might be a little upset not having the best year of all time in that situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where you're right there, Connor. But it's one of those situations where it's just can't even want to go there and make that happen. I'm not sure, but the other piece to this, and Brant, I know you've been following this as an Ohio State fan, that McCord. Obviously, the rumors are that he's afraid of competition, and Ryan Day was going to open things back up competition wise, and Kyle McCord, his dad, whoever it might be, didn't want that to happen. So the thought is, would Kyle McCord even want to go there? Would there be a QB battle? I'm interested in your thoughts, Brant.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be more the fan base talking than anything else, that
Right.
Kyle McCord is afraid of competition, because he obviously embraced the competition this past offseason with Evan Brown. He beat him out. He won the job. And then the competition actually continued into the season. For the first few games, they rotated in and out, and McCord just completely embraced it, went out there and won the job. And I don't see any reason why he wouldn't embrace the competition again. Being a 22-year-old quarterback going against kind of a hot-headed 18-year-old quarterback. it seems like a competition that's winnable, even if Raiola is as generational of a talent as people say he is. I think it's still probably winnable just because he's so young. So I don't think that's going to drive McCord away from going to Nebraska if that's where it starts at.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I think you're right. There are just a lot of rumors with it, and we have to, be careful with those rumors. And I'm one of those people. Eric came on here was talking about his Kyle McCord's dad and all that stuff, and I get where the rumors coming from. And as an Ohio State fan, I want anybody to blame as much as anybody else with the loss to Michigan. But at the same time, like you said, Brant, he embraced the competition before with Devin Brown. So it's not like he's just completely averse to that, but we'll definitely see how it goes. Connor, while you were out there for a minute, we were just talking about the fact that, or the rumor that Kyle McCord does not care for competition. And would we think that that might deter him from going to Nebraska? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened there with my
You're good, man.
connection, but I think I came in at the right time there. It is kind of just all rumors. I don't know. I feel like I kind of heard some of the similar stuff with the Raiola family. Again, I don't know what I don't know. I'm not on the inside there, but it doesn't really seem like either guy particularly is a fan of competition, hence why they've kind of bounced around a little bit. So I could see that actually being a big deter for Kyle McCord coming in, but at the same time, as we were saying before, he is the older guy. It feels like he's going to have the nod, going into all this, but considering he has a little bit of experience. But I don't know, man. It is hard to step away from the number one overall recruit. So definitely a little bit dicey over there.
Yeah, for sure. And Matt Rhule would definitely have a lot on his plate to deal with. I know the joke right now is Dylan Raiola's dad is crazy and Kyle McCord's dad is crazy. So, if you get the really good QB room, you might just have two of the craziest dads overall, at least rumor wise, in all the Big Ten in that room. So that would be interesting as well. Brant, you have any thoughts on the Trevor Etienne, the rumors there? Do you think that's likely? Do you think that's kind of just smoke? You have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it feels like Nebraska fans, they kind of go off the walls. I put Nebraska fans in the same basket as I put Indiana basketball fans. Like they think every player in the transfer portal and every recruit is going to go there. So you see one guy, one solid running back into the transfer portal. Nebraska fans are going to blow it up into something when it's just not. I've seen rumors of him going to like Georgia too. I've seen even Ohio State get a few, a little bit of rumors there. So it seems like Etienne doesn't really know where he's going at this point, but I don't think it's going to be Nebraska.
Yeah, I heard a lot of buzz about Georgia at the beginning, which makes more sense. He kind of, if I'm not mistaken, he was the running back that was talking about kind of wanting to win, and he didn't really feel like, not that he was trying to dog, Florida, but it sounded like he didn't really think that that was something that was going to happen at Florida. And obviously, Florida, they have their own issues to deal with right now. So, all right, Connor, before we finish this up, you have any thoughts on ETN?
Yeah, to me, that one doesn't seem as likely. I don't know. Like Brant said, it seems like most of the recruiting websites you look at have projected him to go to a place like Georgia, and it's hard to see him going somewhere else, considering that it seems like his job to lose already. But yeah, I don't know. Again, if they do get a guy like Kyle McCord or let's say another big name quarterback, I could see him coming in and buying into that culture. So we'll have to wait and see what happens beforehand. But as of right now, I think probably not likely.
Right. And at the end of the day, if Nebraska can land any three of these guys, it's a good offseason for them. So it'll definitely be one to monitor there and see how it goes. All right. Thanks for listening to the Big Ten Huddle. Please do like and subscribe. We appreciate that. If this was your first time listening, we are the Big Ten Huddle. We cover all things Big Ten football and basketball. We have a long episode every Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night, all at 9 o'clock. So come in, check us out, get in the chat, let us know what you're thinking. We would love to have you join us and learn more about the Big Ten.